Oh, good evening, ladies. Apologize for the delay. This is AC4YL. Welcome to the YL OpNet. This is Catherine, AC4YL, in case you missed it on the first time. Net control for this evening's net. We meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Echolink ALARA Conference node. Be sure to invite all YLs you know to join us. We ask that all YLs or licensed female amateur radio operators check in and participate. The purpose of this net is to encourage you to become and stay active with amateur radio, help each other improve our operating knowledge and skills, and have fun. During the net, be sure to join us in the NFARL Do Drop In chat room by opening any web browser and going to nfarl.dodropin.org. Just put your name -- call sign in a box. Why else who would like to check in, give us your call sign, name, and current location. And don't forget that there is a 3 to 4 second delay when transmitting through Echolink. This is Catherine, AC4YL. We will now begin taking check-ins. Please call now.
Victor Echo 3, Bravo Hotel Golf, April from Welland, Ontario, Canada.
WB1ARU, Anne, Hanover, Massachusetts. Good evening.
KK4USM, Tammy in Alpharetta.
AE7MB, Margaret, Battleground, Washington.
Kilo India 5, Alpha Hotel Foxtrot, Hutto, Texas.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Hotel Uniform, another fellow Canadian in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
KB4RM, Rosemary, Texas.
Okay, very good. We'll start with this group of check-ins, and then I think we've had some other YLs that have popped in, so we'll give you a chance to check in just a minute. Well, let's go through who we have so far. So far checking in, we have April, VE3, BHG from Ontario, and WB1ARU joining us from Massachusetts, Tammy. KK4 USM joining us from Georgia, Margaret. AE7MB joining us from Washington, Becky, KI5AHF from Texas. Good evening, Becky. Welcome to the net this evening. I think this is your first time. We're glad to have you. We have Carol, VA3WHU, joining us also from Ontario, and Rosemary, KB4RN, joining us from Texas as well. So good group so far, and I know we have several other YLs, so if you would like to check in, please call now.
W5MQC, Michelle, Oklahoma.
Okay, very good. Good evening, Michelle, W5MQC, joining us from Oklahoma. And I also see Judy in 5KUO, who's also out there in Oklahoma, so I don't know if she's having mic issues or maybe got pulled away from her computer or mobile device for a few minutes, but we do have Becky in the log as well. And I see Lauren is also logged in and connected, and she may have been pulled away as well, so good evening to Lauren. We have her in the log also. And Melanie is also here, AG4YL. And I think that is everyone, and Melanie's in Georgia, by the way, for those of you that may not know. I think that is everyone. I think I have everybody. Let's see. Okay, very good. All right. We may have some other gals join us as well. It's a nice group this evening. We're glad to have you here with us. Here we are well into summer, and I think today is the longest day of the year. So we're glad to have you all here. And I know that Michelle's been quite busy with the YLRL convention that's coming up. So, Michelle, I don't know if you'd like to come in and tell us what you've been up to. I know there's been a lot of advertisement for that event, so would you like to come in and tell us about how the planning and advertising is going for that, and remind everyone here of the dates in case they may be interested in going as well? And anything else you'd like to comment on the convention, please come on in if you are able to do so. We'd love to hear some details from you there, Michelle. W5MQC, AC4YL in the group.
Well, good evening, ladies. This is Michelle, W5MQC. And yes, we have been reaching out everywhere we possibly can. We have 3 people working on it, Judy, N5KUO, who's probably listening in, Leah, W3LEO. And we have just been reaching out everywhere we can, trying to get the word out so we can get all these ladies together. The convention's going to be in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, right smack in the middle of the country. We're trying to make it nice and easy for everybody to get to. It's right where I-40 and I-35 cross. So whether you fly, drive, or take a train, there's an easy way in. The convention's going to be held August 2nd through the 5th. That August 2nd, Thursday night, is just an evening get-together. The hotel is going to be the Oklahoma City Sheraton Hotel. It's in downtown Oklahoma City, right along the Riverwalk. So there is so much to do. You don't need a car to get anywhere. Everything is pretty much within a block or two. And there's so much excitement and so many fun things to do. So whether you like to walk in the botanical gardens, sit down at a brewery that makes some custom brewed beers, whether you like to walk on the Riverwalk or take a water taxi, shoot some putt-putt golf, go to a movie, go see, there's a lot of museums around there, and then of course the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial. And there's so much more that I can't even get it all in one description. Judy and Leah have been writing blogs about it. I'm going to take a break for just a minute so I don't time out the repeater. And it kicked me out, so I'll try again now. Hopefully everybody's hearing me now. The convention's going to have a lot of guest speakers, a lot of the ladies that are on this net. We're going to have Rhea and 2RJ is going to talk about digital modes. Andrea Slack, K2EZ, is going to talk about rovering. Carol Malazzo is going to talk about DXpedition holiday style. Jim Fenstermaker is going to talk about the Kosovo DX operation. He was out there with a lot of YLs. Let's see, Nancy Hall, KC4IYD, is going to be the keynote speaker for the banquet. And lots of fun things that we're going to do. So if you guys haven't heard about it, with every place that I've been putting it, you can go to the ylrlconvention.org website and sign up for it. We are only going to take registrations till July 18th because I have to turn in all the food numbers. I think I've touched about everything there, so back to you, Catherine. This is W5MQC.
Okay, very good, Michelle. Well, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing all that information with the group here. For those of you that would like to go, sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, a great event, and I know that you gals have been working very, very hard to plan it and get the word out, and I think it's just been great to see all the hard work that you've been putting into it. Seems to be paying off quite well. So thank you to you and to Judy, and I don't see Leah on here this evening, but please thank her as well for all your hard work and efforts in getting that going. Needless to say, planning something of that magnitude, I'm sure, is not a cakewalk, especially if you haven't done it before. But you gals are certainly doing a fantastic job. And we've got the website on the Echolink chat for you ladies that can access it. And we'll also include it in the links from this evening's net on the WildOpNet Facebook group, as well as the WildOpsGroups.io group. So thanks again, Michelle, for that additional information. It sounds, again, like it's going to be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go. It's not in the budget, and just unfortunately too many other things going on right now with work. But Wish you gals well. I hope those of you that are on the net that are going have a nice, safe trip. Please take lots of pictures and post those in the various groups, and if you can, post it in the WildOpsGroups.io group. You can actually create a folder, and you can call it the 2018 WildRL Convention. Under the photos section, create what they call an album, which is basically a folder, and then anybody can go ahead and post photos there. And it is a closed group that does require admin approval to join. So if you have any concerns about, photos being online, you can post them there in a nice closed group. Okay, I think it's great, awesome, Michelle, that you gals are going to try and video the sessions as well. You can also post those recordings like Carol Milazzo did in the groups.io WildOps group. For those that don't make it to the convention that would like to see the recording of those presentations, you can post it there. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel or anything set up, but if you gals record it, perhaps you can do a YouTube channel just for the convention and post all the related photos there. There's a lot of things to do, so that's really, really cool. As Melody mentioned there, you can do that and post a link to the recordings. So that's awesome. I don't know if you can upload videos to the file section. It may clog it up. I don't know how much space. It'd probably take up a lot of space. So yeah, if you post them somewhere else, if you can provide a link in there, that would be awesome. Thanks, Melanie, for the space reminder. I forget about that. So again, ylrlconvention.org for additional information on it, and it takes place there in August. So very good, awesome. So Becky, KI5AHF, has joined us this evening, and again, I want to welcome you to the group there, Becky. I was just looking at your QRZ page, and congratulations on getting your technician license earlier this month. If you're comfortable, would you like to come in and say hello to the group and maybe tell us a little bit about yourself or how you got started in ham radio? If I put you on the spot, I apologize, but would love to hear from you if you're comfortable doing so. KI5AHF, AC4YL in the group.
AC4YL, this is KI5AHF. Yeah, thank you so much for the warm welcome. I actually met Michelle, W5MQC, at the HamCom convention in Plano a couple of weekends ago. That's where I took my technician exam, and met up with her, and she told me about the YLRL, and it sounded exciting and interesting, a good way to jump in and get on the air. So I joined the group, and she encouraged me to connect with the net tonight. So here I am. I do live in Central Texas, where it's hot. We've jumped right into summer early this year, so we've had some really hot weather. I kind of got started in the hobby. My boyfriend, who is actually in 5 DFW, has been in the hobby for a long time, and kind of got me interested and started and encouraged me to study and take the exam. So here I am. We've done a few events together, and I was able to get on the air as third party, which kind of got me hooked. So anyway, I'm just really excited to be here. I'm looking forward to getting to know some of y'all better, and thank you for allowing me to join in tonight. KI5AHF, back to net.
Well, that's fantastic, Becky, and I got to say, your Echolink audio is perfect. It's absolutely great. No problems copying you at all. Sounds like you got that set up just wonderfully, and you sound like you've been a ham for many years already. So we're really glad to have you here with us. We hope you find this net enjoyable. A lot of the YLs here on the net are regulars. This net started a few years ago, coming up on 3 years in October, and you know, you're one of the reasons the net was started. It was to encourage YLs everywhere to get and stay active with amateur radio, and this is one way that they can do that. You know, regardless of whether they can afford a radio or not, it's nice to have Echolink, which is free. A headset and a microphone, or a cell phone, which most everybody has these days. So it's a great way to kind of get going in amateur radio on a tight budget. So we're really glad to have you here with us, and we encourage you to, if you have any questions, feel free to bring them up here on the net. Ham-related questions, we are happy to help if we can. And as I mentioned earlier, this net, While OpNet, has a YouTube channel. You can actually go in and listen to past nets. You can just do a search on YouTube for While OpNet, or there's a link to it on my QRZ page. If you just look up AC4YL, there's a link for that, as well as the Facebook group. And I believe that Melanie, AG4YL, if you pull up her QRZ page, she also has a link to the groups.io with information on how to join the group and look at postings there. That group is for YLs all around the world that would like to pop on and become a member of the group and post comments, questions, ham-related topics, experiences, and anything there that they'd like to post. So check it out. Probably best to go to Melanie's site. I don't have the groups.io link on mine yet. Okay, very good. So let's see. This weekend, talking about events, Becky mentioned participating in a couple of events. So we have a big event coming up this weekend, and it's called Field Day. We talked a little bit about this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to post the link for information on Field Day here in the Echolink chat. It's basically arrl.org/field-day. That's the website to get any information you can on Field Day. There's also a Field Day event on Facebook. The link for that is on the ARRL page I just linked to. But the purpose of Field Day is to work as many stations as possible on any and all amateur bands, excluding 60 meters, 30, 17, and 12. But any of the other bands you can work and play Field Day on. But again, it's to work as many stations on those bands and to learn to operate in abnormal situations in less than optimal conditions. So that's the goal. But Melanie mentioned a good point a couple of weeks ago, because not everybody can get out there and participate in Field Day either with a group or mobile somewhere outside of their home. There's nothing wrong with that. You can actually play Field Day from your home, because there are others that in an emergency situation can relay information and have relayed information from areas with commercial power, and they can relay that messages even though that they may have commercial power coming from those that do not. So it is still good practice, and you can even operate off-grid from within your home. So just because you're at home doesn't mean you have to plug your radio into the wall. You can hook it up to a battery from home as well and operate Field Day off-grid. So there's a lot of learning opportunities and a lot of fun in different ways and avenues that you can participate in Field Day. So Field Day officially kicks off at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let me see if I can get the... trying to do too many things at once. 1800 UTC time on Saturday, and runs till 2059 UTC on Sunday. And again, that's this weekend, the 23rd and the 24th. Again, all the information on Field Day is found at that website, arrl.org/field-day. And it's an event that takes place in North America, so that would be all of the United States and Canada primarily participate in this event. And it's also another opportunity that amateur radio operators have a chance to introduce amateur radio to the local community as well. So a lot of clubs will have a special event in a park, and there's also several areas that proclamations have been made declaring that week Amateur Radio Week. I know that the city of Roswell does that here in the state of Georgia, and several others are mentioned on ARRL's website in their news section that have also done the same. I think the governor of Alabama has also done that, as well as several others. So you can check out the information there if you're not familiar with Field Day. If you are interested, there's also a Field Day locator for anyone that has told ARRL the location that they will be doing Field Day as a group or invite others to participate in Field Day, can let them know, and that gets included on the Field Day locator site. So if you're looking for where you can play Field Day with a group, that's a great place to start. Okay, I'm looking at the chats here in Echolink, and it looks like we also have Julian, KN4NHA, that's here listening in on the net from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So good evening and congratulations on getting your license. Looks like you just got it 3 days ago. So congratulations on that. We're glad to have you here with the group as well. Okay, so with that, I'd like to go ahead and open it up to the group and see if anybody has questions for Michelle about the ALARA Convention, needs any of the information she gave repeated, or if you have any comments or questions on Field Day. So if you have anything related to those two items that you'd like to bring up this evening, please call now, AC4YL.
I think it would, the WB1ARU here, I think it would be nice if everybody who knows where they're going to be doing Field Day would mention that this evening, and also what call signs they think they might be using. I'll kick it off because Joni and I are going to be doing Field Day together with Emergency Power here at the home QTH, using his call sign with P Alpha 1 Echo Norway Ocean. And we'll be a 1E here in eastern Massachusetts, and I will be on the air all Saturday afternoon. So hoping to hear some of the other YLs. Back to net, WB1ARU.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Ann. And yes, that was something I thought we could cover this evening, so thank you so much for bringing it up. And we can certainly do that, and thank you for letting us know. So, yeah, with that, in your comments to the group this evening, everybody, if you'd like to share, if you're going to be participating in Field Day this weekend, kind of what your plan is, or are you going to be doing it with a group, or on your own, or, you know, with a partner, and what call sign you'll be operating, and perhaps whether you'll be at home or mobile.
I'm going to be mobile. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think the ARRL, that's how I was going to think it's a nationwide thing.
Okay. I'm not sure. I didn't quite copy that last ARRL and nationwide. It's about all I caught out of that. But let me see. Sorry, I'm catching up with the chats here. Michelle comments here in the chat. Michelle, would you like to pop in here and tell us where you'll be operating from? So for those that don't see the chat.
This is W5MQC, and our club, W5NOR, is going to be operating as a 2FOK station, which means we will have two radios. One will be doing CW, and one will be doing SSB on, and we'll be operating out of a Red Cross station this year. We're actually going to take this opportunity to set up the station permanently in the Red Cross building and then leave it there. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to break some bread together. We're going to have a fox hunt, and we're going to do some VE testing. So we're going to have a lot of fun. You can find me under the call sign W5NOR, and I will be on the GOTA station that we have, and that will be under WB5ULK, but hopefully I will have some YLs to mentor there. Back to net control. This is W5MQC.
Okay, that's fantastic, Michelle. So, Julian, KN4NHA, was asking if it's nationwide or just a southeast thing. It is across the North America, so all of the U.S. and Canada will be participating in Field Day. Actually, around the world will be participating in Field Day. There's a lot of stations that may try to work, some that are collecting counties or states. They like to work stations because there are a lot of U.S. stations on the air that weekend. But yeah, all the information on Field Day, again, is at arrl.org/field-day, and that'll give you all the information about Field Day, what it is, who and how and where and when to participate. And Melanie also posted the link for the locator. It's actually arrl.org/field-day-locator. So you can find a group that is participating in Field Day close by. So thanks, Julian. I hope that answered your question, and we're glad to have you listening in to the net this evening. And just so you know, this is a YL net, so we are happy to have you listen in with the group here. But we do ask that female ham radio operators participate in the net, and we do ask kindly if the OMs would be so kind as to stand by to the net. This net runs every Thursday evening from 8 o'clock p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, year-round. And we love to have OMs listen in and encourage YLs that they know in their clubs or in their groups there to listen in and join us as well. So we're really glad to have you listening in, Julian, and thanks so much for your question. It's a great question for a new ham, so thank you again. Michelle, back to your comment about setting up in the Red Cross building. I think that's great. Do you guys have any plans to use it for like an ARIES set simulated emergency test? Are you planning to use that station for events such as that?
This is W5MQC. Yes, that is exactly the plan for this event. We will run, I guess that's what the F is for, running a simulated emergency out of there. And we have recently really stepped up working with the Red Cross in our area. Ever since the hurricanes that hit the Gulf last year, a lot of the Red Crosses realized that they really dropped the ball when they dropped some of the amateur radio operators. So they are really, really, really trying to make contact again, get stations active in their Red Cross buildings. Multiple of the different counties within Oklahoma have requested that our club or nearby clubs go in and recontact with them, help them get their people on board with amateur radio, set up stations in their buildings. So we're doing that, and we'll probably do it one Red Cross building at a time. We're starting with the one that's local to us. Back to you. Oh, by the way, everybody might want to check with their local Red Cross and see if there is a partnership that can be done with them. Back to Net Control. This is W5MQC.
Okay, very good, Michelle. Well, that's great. Thanks for that info. I know that Kathy, gosh, what did she change her call sign to? W4CMG, I think. My goodness, I'm drawing a blank. Kathy has been on the net here with us out of Tennessee, and she changed her call, and it's been a while since I've seen her on the net, so I can't recall it off the top of my head. But I know she's posted several things on Facebook in reference to working with the Red Cross for several emergency type preparedness items. So I'm curious if the same thing is going on out her way as well, and it might be good if maybe you can reach out to her if I can get her call sign correct. But anyway, let me see. Boy, that's gonna drive me nuts. W4CMG. Yeah, there we go. W4CMG. Kathy Goodrich in Nashville. Again, she and her OM are hams, and have been doing a lot with the Red Cross. So I might reach out to her and ask her if they've got a lot of ham activities that they're incorporating in as well. So thanks, Michelle, for the info. I think that's fantastic. That's great. All right. So anyway, back to our other questions as well. We were talking about the YORO convention. If you have questions for Michelle, or field day, and if you plan on participating, participate. And first we'll go to Melanie for her comment. AG4YL, please go ahead.
Good evening, ladies. AG4YL here. I apologize if my audio is lacking. I've been having some problems with my sound card and my computer, so this is as good as it gets. Anyway, I did want to mention that with the ARRL Field Day Locator, you not only can find sites for field day events, people sitting, and it doesn't have to be a big club. There are people on the locator that are just doing a field day station. They can be doing it in their backyard. In fact, there's a group here in the Cobb County area that sets up, this ham started it casually, and he had a few friends come over, and it just grew to this thing he does in his backyard, and it got really popular. But anybody can submit an event to the Field Day Station Locator. I'm not sure if you have to be an ARRL member to do this. I know it's an ARRL event. I'm not sure if you have to be a member, so that you can log into ARRL. I don't know. I've only gone to the Field Day Locator under my membership, so I can't speak otherwise than that. But if you know an ARRL member, if you're not a member, you can go ahead and submit one to the locator. And by the way, if you're not a member and you want to know what it's about, they do give you a 90-day, 3-month free kind of a membership. You don't get into every single thing like member directories and stuff like that, but you can go do a trial membership on the ARRL website, and you can have access to most of the things on their website for 3 months for free. And also, if you are a new ham, the ARRL has a new ham packet that they will send you, and I would encourage everybody to check that out if you're a new ham or know a new ham. Wait, pause for reset. And I'd like to say good evening to Nisi, K-A-1-U-L-N. Glad to see you here, and we have you in the log for this evening. Nice to see you here. Nisi is from Massachusetts. And but I think it's new-ham, something like that, on here. If you just put in new ham, you can usually find it. I try to keep these things bookmarked, but it doesn't always work that way. Always encourage you to check that out. It is free. You can go to arrl.org and search on new ham, and you should be able to get some information. Prospective ham, new ham, they'll send you out a cool little packet of stuff, and it's without obligation. You don't have to be a member, you don't have to sign up, you don't have to join or anything like that. And you can find out a little bit more about what the ARRL is and what it does. Also encourage new hams out there to try to find a club. It doesn't even have to be right around the corner. If you have several clubs in your area, go to the club meetings. You don't have to be a member to go to a meeting, and find a good fit for you. See if there's a club around that's a good fit. If there's not one in your area, this medium of Echolink is fantastic for that. So take advantage of Echolink. You can get a lot of information. There are really nice technical forums on there. Do some searching. Let your fingers do the typing, so to speak. Now, also, and thank you for posting that link, Prospect Ham Info Request. Thank you for posting that, Catherine. We will put these on the on the Facebook page for you to follow, and for you to pick up on the links. The other thing I wanted to bring up is, and Nisi posted a comment here in the Echolink chat, our very own Ria N2RJ. Oh, good evening, Judy. We're joined by Judy, KE7IXI. Good evening to you. Nice to see you on the net. Let me pause for a reset, and I'll get back to my comment. Okay, and I have you in the log, Judy. Good evening to you. Or call 1-800-32-NEW-HAM. 1-800-32-NEW-HAM. The people at ARL are very accessible, and you can call and talk to somebody on the phone anytime during the business hours, business days, Monday through Friday. Get somebody on the phone. They've got email. They're very responsive. I've always really gotten good response whenever I've had a question. And members of ARL, do you know you can get technical help? There's technical help in your section to help you with radio, setting up a station, getting an antenna going, so forth and so on. There are people that are staffed in your section that will help you do technical stuff, which is kind of neat. So yes, the news, for those that don't know, Ria N2RJ is trying to win the Hudson Division Director, I believe. Did I get the title correct there? It's on QRZ. Amateur Radio Newsline has got a big thing going on. And yes, Hudson Division Director. So just found out about that. It's kind of really neat. And field day, I unfortunately am going to have to work, so I will be a little late in coming to it. Probably not actually get out into the field. I'll probably be doing a home station as I did last year, which actually works out kind of cool because, as I had mentioned last week, and Catherine brought it up this week, field day is about establishing emergency communications, and those people in the field need somebody to talk to in a emergency operations center or EOC or other area during a possible emergency. Last but not least, for those that are on Echolink from their computers, if they will go up to the top of their Echolink menu to Tools and Preferences. Oh, I better reset. Okay, if you'll go up to the top of your menu, these are just for people not on Android or iPhones or anything like that, or tablets. This is just for people that are on their computers. If you go to your Tools menu, or to the, if you got the little icons, things that look like 3 little index cards, and no, it's Preferences. It's this other one. Anyway, go to Tools, go to Preferences. Yeah, it is the 3 little index cards. Click on Signals, and where it says Text Message, it'll say Connected, Disconnected, Alarm, Over, Text Message, End Text. Click None for text messages. Click None for text messages. And the reason is because when you are transmitting and people are texting, we can hear that signal. So as people, you can hear that bong, that bong, that bong, and it comes over while you're talking. So every time you get a text message and you're on your computer and you're talking, we can hear that text message signal, and we'd like to be able to hear what you're saying. And sometimes the signal can cover up what you're saying. So to be better understood, let's go ahead and turn that off, and you can just follow and see the text messages coming on. Now, obviously, if you're monitoring from afar and you want to know when text messages come in and you're not transmitting, you can turn that signal on. But again, that's in Preferences and Signals, and the 5th one down says Text Message. Just click the little radio button there that says None, and then you won't hear that long. We'll be able to hear you when you're transmitting and other people are texting and ripping in things for you. Because especially when you have something good to say, people are just pulling things up with the text messages. But, yes, back to Hudson Division. If you're in Hudson Division, New Jersey, New York, I don't know all the states in the Hudson Division, pretty large division. It's a big deal. It's pretty cool. And so get your voting. So that's it for me. I believe that's everything I wanted to touch on. I'm going to send this right on back over to Catherine.
Okay, very good, Melanie. Lots of good information there. And Lauren just commented in. She's extremely short time. So, Lauren, did you want to pop in and say hi to the group since you can't stay long? Oh, okay, very good. No mic set up. All right, well, everybody give a quick shout-out to Lauren there in the chat then and say hi. And we're glad you were at least able to pop in and hear us okay. So hope you're doing well and things are going better for you, Lauren. And we're glad to have you here and appreciate it, everything you do when it comes to recording the net and uploading and all that cool stuff when you wave your magic wand and things appear. So we appreciate it. And we're glad to have you. So back to some things that Melanie brought up. So I want to circle back around again real quick for the new HAMS information because I think it's great. I know several of us here on this net are volunteer examiners, which means we go and help when folks go to take their license. Volunteer examiners, a minimum of 2, have to be present at a test session to grade those exams and get those sent up to ARRL or whatever VEC that they're working with, passed on to the FCC for licensing and call sign issuance. But the new HAMS information from ARRL is a great resource for them. And so you definitely want to share that with hams that passed their license. In fact, it kind of, I don't know, I'll have to look into maybe doing a flyer or something with the link on it or something, because I think we tend to forget. I know I forget about it, and Melanie's good about bringing it up. But just some things that they can find just on that Get on the Air page, the resources that are free are frequency allocations and band charts, a band chart of U.S. amateur radio technician privileges in PDF format, contact basics chart. What does that mean? Information on commonly used Q signals in the phonetic alphabet. Let me pause for a reset. Radiogram Q signals and pro signs. That's another PDF. Communication procedures, ITU phonetic alphabet, RST system, UTC time conversion. I know a lot of new hams struggle a little bit with the UTC time conversion. There's some information there. Grid square locator and a ham radio glossary. That is just the start of a wealth of information that's there. There's a bunch of other things in there too, like operating ethics, safety, like Melanie mentioned, building your first radio, your first station, building a simple antenna, your first contact, how to keep a log, what's contesting and how do you do it, what if you're thinking about learning Morse code or digital modes. All of that right there on that one website, and then they can fill out the prospect package form. And what do you get with that? You get an ARRL membership application, the latest publication catalog, a youth flyer. We do that, technology brochure, do-it-yourself flyer, take the next step, and serving your community. All of that is included in that prospect package, and it's free. So, encourage newly licensed hams to take advantage of the wealth of information that's there. And that's just, of course, one site. So, lots of good info, and thanks, Melanie, for bringing that up. We might have to keep that where we bring that up from time to time as we have new hams join us on a weekly basis here. So, and comments, Hudson Division is northern New Jersey, eastern New York, and New York, Long Island. So if you have ham friends in those areas, I'm sure they'll find out, but feel free to spread the word about Rhea into RJ. And she's got a great QRZ page if you want to learn more about her as well. And she's a great ham and has shared a lot of her experiences and knowledge. She did a presentation on SDR and setting up a world-class station. She's got videos out there. So if you just Google or go to her website, intorj.com, you'll learn a lot about her ham radio activities and learn some things from her as well. And of course, we love having her whenever she can come on the net. You know, she's been quite busy. I think she just got a new job and kids, so they keep her quite busy. But she does get on from time to time when she can. So she's a great gal. We love to chat with her. Okay, so circling back around to Field Day. So who else is going to be operating Field Day this weekend, and how do you plan on operating?
Victor Echo 3, Bravo Hotel Golf, April.
Please, go ahead, April.
Okay, this is going to be my first field day. I got my license in February, and so there's a lot of anticipation here. Our club, I was looking on the site locator for field day. I see that Hamilton's club is on there, but ours is not. I'm very surprised at that because I'll have to make sure that I let people know that it's not there. We're going to be meeting in Balls Falls Conservation Area. It's a very popular site it's a very nature-oriented thing, and also people go there for wedding photographs and stuff like that, although tomorrow doesn't seem like it's going to be that kind of a day. We're not getting a rain forecast or drizzle forecast like they are in Hamilton. It's supposed to be cloudy, but I'm going to go prepared anyways. There's a number of different, we're going to have a go-to station, and there's a number of different people there that have their own equipment and are going to be doing different bands, and so I'm going to go around and try them all out, see if I can get some YLs. That would be fun to kill two birds with one stone, because I know there's some contesting involved in that. I'm going to I hope to drag my OM along with me. He has almost zero interest in ham radio, but the thing is he likes to talk to people. So I might be able to get him on the go-to station just for fun and see if he gets hooked. And I have a friend who, somebody I hadn't seen for a long time, that showed up at our last ham meeting, ham club meeting I should say, and she's thinking about getting her license, and I want to encourage her because I feel kind of lonely sometimes. There was finally another YL at our last meeting, and I was over the moon about it. And hopefully this gal will get her license, and one other person that I'm hoping will get her license this summer, because our instructor is planning on running a course, I think, in the summertime. He was originally saying September. Okay, I'm going to pause for reset. Okay, that's better. Had to wait for the repeater beep. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, so he's going to be running a course this summer, and I'm excited about it because he had originally said September, and it seems like there's enough people interested that he's going to try it a little bit earlier. Although he says he's going to be in Ohio during field day, so maybe I'll get to talk to him there too. I'm going with an open mind because I have no idea. I just know that it's going to be interesting to see everybody set up and how they're set up, and you know, I had a warm welcome to at least try out 20 meters and see how that's going. I did find that 40 meters and 80 meters were more active the last time I did an event, but I guess it really just depends. I think during contests there's a lot more activity on any band. So in any case, that's all I have. So this is VE3BHG, back to net.
Well, that is fantastic, April. Sounds like y'all have a great plan going, and yeah, that go-to station will hook anybody you bring there, and it is a whole lot of fun. And I'm so glad that you'll be going, and I encourage any ham that's going to field day for your first time and you're going with a group, find out when they're setting up and try to get there early when they're setting up. You can learn so much about how to put up antennas and set up in preparation for operating. There's a lot to be learned there. Look around at the different equipment and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask, what's this for, and how do you hook this up, and how do you decide which radio, and all of those kinds of questions that may pop into your head, and ask. Ask the hams there that are setting up and getting that equipment going. They'll be more than happy to answer your questions, and who knows, they may hand you some wire and put you to work. But it's a lot of fun, so that's exciting. Try to get in early. What do they say? Get in early and leave late, right? Help set up, help take down, and I know a lot of clubs love to have folks that can volunteer and help with those pieces as well. People tend to forget those antennas don't put themselves up, and the radios and equipment don't set themselves up either. So it's a lot of work that needs to be done, and it can be fun. Again, that's part of the fun of the event. It's not just operating, but it's also spending time with hams and helping each other and learning what you can learn and share what you know with others, and just have fun doing it. So that's great. There's some comments in the chat about rain on field day. Yes, it does. Melanie hit on the head. It always rains. In fact, I was just checking the weather that is supposed to happen here this weekend, and yes, it does look like thunderstorms on Saturday. So Melanie, it's probably a good thing that you're having to work during the day and coming in later.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Hotel Uniform. Yeah, I just posted in the field day chat about Hamilton. Yeah, it's supposed to rain here on Saturday and Sunday, both days of the field day for this year. I remember my Brian, my OM, Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Golf November, going out with the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club a couple of years back, getting absolutely drenched in the rainy day that we had here. Yeah, it rains every field day for some reason, and I can't figure that one out. But we're at Valley Park. If I know a lot of the YLs in this group are stateside, but if anybody's around and wants to make a trip to Canada on field day weekend, we're in Valley Park. We'll be setting up Saturday morning. 40 meters, 20 meters. There'll be some 6 meter. There'll be some CW. Maybe a couple of stations doing 2 meters, depending on what's what. So you're welcome to set up a tent and bring your own equipment, and of course there's camping as well. So if you want to camp, you can bring a tent and camp overnight and do the Saturday into Sunday field day event. So it's quite the thing here. So if we get a nice crowd, it'll be nice. I have to work on the Saturday, unfortunately. It's my Saturday to work, but plan to get out there on the Sunday and do some contesting if I'm able. If it's not too bad, if it's not rained out, we'll have to see. So I'll send it back to the net.
Okay, very good, Carol. Well, even when it rains on field day, it's you'll learn to set things up to help keep the equipment dry, and don't forget, most importantly, about safety. Please do not operate during a thunderstorm. Safety comes first. So just be careful out there and pay attention to the weather, and know what the weather is planning to do. And you make the most of it. And sometimes field day has to come to a pause for the weather to pass over, and then you just pick it right back up. And the nice thing about field day again is it runs overnight. So hey, if you're with a group that's running all night, even if you have to work, go home, take a nap, and go in the late hours. A lot of clubs are looking for people to operate in the late evening to wee hours of the morning time. So that's always an option too, if you can stay awake. So anyway, thanks, Carol, for coming in. It's always good to hear from you too. All right, who else wants to come in and comment about field day and what your plans are? Come on in and tell us. AC4YL here.
start looking into it. But yeah, I'm definitely planning on attending my very first field day. I'm going to actually be in the Chattanooga, Tennessee at my job, which is my office. It's been a month ago, especially the reception. And I'd like to say thank y'all so much. The information y'all have been giving out today has been overwhelmingly good. So, big kudos to all of you.
All right. Well, thanks, Julian, and glad you'll be attending your first field day. That is awesome. Okay. Anybody else want to tell us about your field day plans? Please come on in. Okay. Let's see. Judy, KE7IXI, comments in the chat. Everybody gets hungry, so having food and snacks works well. Right on, and lots of water. Especially for areas that are hot, you want to have plenty of water on hand. Again, going back to the safety aspect of things, you want to make sure you have plenty of water and stay hydrated, and that is really critical. So even during setup, by the way, not just during the event. Nisi also reminds us to don't forget about 10 meters and 6 meters. Yes, 6 meters is a great opportunity. 10 and 6 have both had some wonderful openings lately. So if you have 10 and 6 meter capability, pay attention for those openings and take advantage of them. I know some clubs have a 6 meter station set up, and will actually have somebody there to monitor for when openings occur. They can jump right in and work as many as they can during the band opening before it closes. So thank you, Nisi, for that reminder. It's an excellent one. 10 meters and 6 meters are two other great bands to operate on when they're open for sure. Okay, do we have anybody else that would like to comment on field day and your field day plans?
I mentioned it in the comments, but don't forget that cleanup is also an important part of field day, and it always seems like the same people get stuck with cleanup detail, and usually they're the ones that were on setup also. And everybody gets a little tired, and it's amazing how many people disappear once the radio time ends, leaving just a few to do the cleanup. So keep that in mind. Be kind.
Well, that's certainly an excellent reminder, Anne, and you're right. Many hands make the load light, so the more people that can hang around for cleanup, the shorter amount of time it'll take to clean up, and everybody can get out of there at a reasonable hour. And what do they say when you're a kindergartner? Clean up your area. So don't leave a mess. For sure, just taking care of your own items is certainly a start. And then if you see some trash or something, don't be afraid to pick that up. But if you can hang around and help take down and clean up, certainly that's a wonderful thing to do. And plan some time to do that so that you can help and keep that load light. All right, so thanks, Anne, for that. Judy jumped in, but Judy, I didn't have any audio from you. So if you'd like to come on in and try again, please go ahead. KE7IXI, AC4YL in the group.
Hello, here I am, KE7IXI. I was just going to say down here it's so hot here. And, the last 3 days, and it's going to continue through the weekend. Health advisory, we have to be so careful down here with heat. So normally we go up north where the day is usually about 80, 85, but this year now it's going to be squashed. The Forest Service has put a damper on it. They said no open fires, flames, and I'm pretty much thinking this might be generator too. So I think we're going to have a lot of people staying down here in the valley and just finding a nice cool area to transmit. Which that's what we're going to do. We're going to stay here in our ham shack and have our boys over, and we're just going to have our own little field day, which is a shame because we do enjoy being with everybody in the club. But I also wanted to say safety is very important too. Got to watch out people that overcome with heat. Just keep the eyes open and just make sure that everybody has a good time and stay safe. So that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you all. But sorry I missed last week too. We were out of town, but I thought of all you ladies too. So back to Nat.
Well, thank you very much, Judy. Appreciate your comments, and good to hear from you. Good audio. Copied you no problem that time. So, but yeah, it's a smart way to go then. Stay where it's nice and cool, because it can certainly get hot out your way for sure. So, so very good. Have a safe and fun field day. You know, people have Super Bowl parties, and hams have field day parties, right? So very good. Well, thanks, Judy. Good to hear from you. Any other comments on field day, reminders, or your plans for field day? I'm probably going to get with Melanie and hang out with her for field day and have some fun operating and see what time we can get in and set up that new antenna and see if we can get that going and make some cues. So that'll be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. All right, anybody else have comments on field day, reminders, or what your plans are? Okay, not hearing anyone, so very good. Lots of good information tonight, and thank you to everybody who participated. We really appreciate it. And we have just a few minutes left here, so I know that some of you may be participating in the YLRL Annual Certificate Award, and what that is you work 15 different YLs and on a topic that changes every year, and this year the topic is favorite song. So if you are participating in that and would like to exchange favorite song with the YL here on the net, please go ahead and throw your call out here and we will give you a chance to do that.
VE3BHG.
Okay, very good. April, go ahead. I think several YLs here wouldn't mind. I think I know Ann last week was willing to exchange, so perhaps WB1ARU is willing to exchange her song with you, or I think Melanie was volunteered last week, so I don't know if you've worked either of them in your log. So please go ahead, April, VE3BHG, AC4YL. Go ahead and pick a YL and exchange your favorite song.
Alrighty, VE3BHG, I would like to exchange with WB1ARU, and if she's willing. My location is Welland, Ontario, Canada, and my favorite song for this application is Shake It Off by Taylor Swift.
Okay, very good, April. Victor Echo 3, Bravo Hotel Golf. Shake It Off is your favorite song, and you're in Ontario. This is WB1ARU, and I'm in Hanover, Massachusetts. My favorite song for the purposes of this is Cherish, the Association. You have to be old like me to remember that one from 1966-7 area. And special meaning, especially this weekend, because for whatever reason, in my innocence, whatever, I chose it for the song for our wedding music. It was difficult to play since it wasn't being sung vocally. Oh well, it's still one of our favorites. So that's my favorite song, Cherish. Back to you, April.
VE3BHG, thank you. And that call sign WB1ARU, and from Hanover, Massachusetts, and the song is Cherish by the Association. Catherine, if you could confirm for me the UTC time, because I think that has to be included in the log as well. I think I know it's 1 something, so I think 1:19 according to my clock. If you could confirm that for me, thank you so much. VE3BHG, back to the net.
I had 01:18, but it's 19 now. I don't think a minute or two makes much odds.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Ann. And yes, it is 01:18:19. And just remember the date. is also the 22nd of June, UTC here. So you'll want to mark that down then as the date as well. So thank you, Anne, and thank you, April. And April, if you need more, no one else has asked to exchange, but Margaret has volunteered to exchange, and she does not have you in her log, but she's already completed hers. So if you have not worked Margaret for favorite song and would like to, AE7MB has volunteered. So April, if you'd like, please go ahead and let us know if you'd like to exchange with Margaret as well if you haven't already.
VE3BHD, yes, Margaret, I would love to exchange favorite song with you. Once again, my QTH is Welland, Ontario, Canada, and my favorite song is Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. Okay, and so back to you, AE7MB, Margaret.
Okay, April, very good. I understand that Shake It Off is your favorite song. My favorite song is Ash Grove. That's Alpha Sierra Hotel space Golf Romeo Oscar Victor Echo. It's a Girl Scout, Girl Guide song, and that is my favorite song. And I am in Battleground, Washington. So I think that's everything you need. This is AE7MB, back to VE3BHG.
Thank you, Margaret. Okay, just to confirm, you're in Battleground, Washington. Favorite song, Ash Grove, which is a Girl Guides or Girl Scout song. And I think that was all I needed. Okay, thank you so much. Back to the net.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you, April, and thank you, Margaret, for volunteering to exchange as well. Does anybody else want to exchange favorite song? We have just a few more minutes left, so if you'd like to, please call now. Okay, not hearing anyone else, so do we have anybody here with us that has any comments or anything else for the net this evening that you would like to mention, announcements, comments, or questions? Please call now, AC4YL.
This is KI5AHF with a question.
Please, go ahead, Becky.
Thank you, Catherine. I know at the beginning of the net you talked about how to log on to the chat room. I missed that information, and it sounds like it's kind of an important piece of the net. People posted questions, so I was wondering if you could repeat the information on how to get into the chat room.
Okay, Becky, no problem, and thank you for asking your question there. So there's two chats that happen kind of simultaneously during the net. One is in the Echolink program itself. So if you're on a computer, you can see the chat there as you're logged in. But there's a separate chat as well where you can actually post pictures, and I think there's some little emoji icons there too. You can be a little bit more interactive. You can change the color of your fonts and that kind of thing. It's not just a text chat. That is the nfarl.dewdropin.org. nfarl.dewdropin. It's spelled just like it sounds. DODROPIN.org. And when you go to there, there'll be at that site there'll be a box. You just put your first name dash call sign. So you would put Becky dash KI5AHF and click login, and then you're in the chat. So it's very easy. And again, you can customize the way it looks. You can change the background color, and you can change the font color, etc., etc. So there's sometimes some nets there's a lot of activity over there, and others not so much. It just depends on whether people feel like being chatty or not. There's usually pretty good activity going on in the Echolink chat. I think a lot of folks find it easy to be right there in one program. But those chats are both available. And again, you can post pictures. Actually, what you do is you post a link to a picture. So in the chat there, and some folks do that also. We can put links over there, and they become hyperlinks. So if somebody types the link over in the Do Drop In chat, it will and hits enter, it will become a link that you can just click on. Unlike Echolink, where you kind of have to copy and paste it into a browser. And encourage you to hop on the YL OpNet Facebook group. We try to post the links for the nets up there as well. Let me pause for reset. So you can pick the links up there, and also if you request to join the YLOpsGroups.io group, we're going to start trying to post them there also. So we'll have a couple of places. There are some questions that are asked when you request to join both groups. They're really easy. Basically, are you licensed ham, and what's your call sign? How did you find out about ham radio, and what interests you? What interest do you have in the hobby? The different aspects of the hobby that you find most interesting or that you want to learn more about. That's it. Easy questions, and that just helps us get to know you. And you do have to be a YL or female amateur radio operator to join those groups, which you are, but that's for everyone else that's listening in that is gathering this information. So, all right, very good. So with that, do we have any other comments for the net this evening? Great question, by the way, Becky. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, not hearing anyone. Do we have any YLs who have joined us that have not checked into the net and would like to do so this evening? Please call now. Okay, very good. Well, we'd like to thank Lauren, KC9ZHV, for live streaming and recording this net and making it available to all through YouTube. We'd also like to thank ALARA for the use of this Echolink conference node, North Fulton Amateur Radio League for their Do Drop In chat room, and all who are linked and listening for your ongoing support of this net. This is Catherine, AC4YL, closing out the YL UpNet, returning the ALARA conference node back to normal use. 33 ladies, thanks so much for being here. We will see you next Thursday. Take care. Have a great field day.